Hi, it's Mitch from Pickdawgz.com here with your free pick in the Duquesne versus Dayton college basketball matchup on Friday, January 12th, 2024. Of course, if you like all the free picks we give out at Pickdawgz, you'll love our best bets, our premium picks. Use that discount code PICK for 15% off. We also have Dime Club and Sharp Trading Plays meant for people who make big bets. If that's you, go ahead and text that number that you see on the screen. Not available on the website. You got to text the number. But let's get to this one. Duquesne taking on Dayton. Duquesne 9-5 on the season, 5-1 straight up at home, but just 1-4 against the number, and 2-7-1 against the number in their last 10 games. So Duquesne, one of these teams, they're winning some games. They're not necessarily covering any point spreads. Then when we look at Dayton, 12-2 on the season, but 2-1 on the road, but a perfect 3-0 when it comes to covering the spread on the road. They are 9-1 in their last 10 games. Boy, Dayton has been a tough team to figure out in recent years. This is a team that has started very, very slow, and at the end of the day, it has been what's kept them out of the NCAA tournament. It's one of these things for me, when I look at a team like Dayton, and last year I thought they had a Final Four quality team. To me, they're like the type of team that just has so much talent on the team. It's tough to believe that, they lose some of these head-scratching losses. And this year, they've avoided a lot of those head-scratching losses, and they've done it by flying under the radar, which, has been pretty good to us that have been betting on the Flyers. So, we know that they did take that loss at Houston, but that was all the way back in mid-November. But they haven't lost since, and it's a very quiet 9-game winning streak. Some pretty good wins in there. At SMU, they were a 1.5-point dog in that game, won the game outright. At Cincinnati, 82-68, 5.5-point dog, won that game outright. That was only in the middle of December, that game. Last time out, stomping Davidson at Davidson as a 4.5-point favorite in that thing. I think people are starting to catch on with Dayton, but at the same time, not fast enough. When we look at Duquesne on the other side of this one, back-to-back losses against UMass and Loyola Chicago. They also lost to Santa Clara. They have an unlined game in there that they won. So that was the difference maker. They did go through a series of wins, beating Irvine, Marshall, St. Peter's, Bradley. So some good names in there as well. But as I said, since we've gone to that late December into early January, it hasn't been nearly as good for the Dukes. When we look at what Dayton's been doing offensively, shooting 47.6% from the floor, top 50 in the nation, and this team can fire it up from beyond the arc, shooting 40.5% from the perimeter. These guys can really, really shoot. And I thought that Dayton last year, the reason why I picked them into the Final Four last year before the season, obviously they didn't make the NCAA tournament, so it was a bust of a pick. A lot of my other picks did really well, but that wasn't one of them. But the thing is that, I felt that was the best team they had since that Obi Toppin team that didn't get to play because when the NCAA tournament was canceled. And I thought that was a Final Four quality team. And I thought last year's Dayton team was along those lines. This year's Dayton team, actually really, really good as well. When we look at, Duquesne's offense, they don't really shoot the ball particularly well. Dayton is very, very good defensively. And to be honest, I just think that they're the better team. And I think after the way that they've played in recent years, this team is dialed in and focused and playing with some purpose. I think, playing in this Friday night spot where there's not as many games, up against a pretty good NBA card, so that maybe, the cat won't be out of the bag, but I think it somewhat will be here. This might be, might not be the best spot for it, but I'm still going to do it anyway. I'm going to take Dayton. That's going to be my free pick. Of course, while you're doing your picks, putting your bets in, use our free betting tools at sportschatplace.com. 100% free, and it'll help put you on the most favorable bets on the board today.